How you doing? It's Yaakov here with the beautiful Chiddush and the Meredith Chiddush May, all the emunah team of Drum Moshe, Kasuto, my family, all of Am Yisrael, and the whole entire world. May everybody have health, success, wealth, spiritually and physically, emunah, bitachon, simcha, everything a person needs in order to serve Hashem and more. We find, we've been talking about the Jews in the desert over the past many weeks in the weekly parsha, the weekly Torah portion, and today is the 7th of Adar, the Hilulah, the Yurtzeit, the birthday and the death time of Moshe Rabbeinu, physically. There's a beautiful tzaddik, his name is Maharash, Rav Shik. I've quoted him before. He writes, that a certain understanding that, at the end of the Torah, which actually speaks about the death of Moshe Rabbeinu, that's the end of the Torah, of all the way at the end, V'zot Bracha, Zinu, all those parshas right before, and in the book of Dvarim, Deuteronomy, we find that, it says that they were, so to speak, it was recounting the event of right before Moshe dying, and Rav Maharash, Rav Shik says that really that as long as a person's holding that we're always before Moshe Rabbeinu passing away. As long as the person holds that, Yehoshua understood something different than the Jewish people did. The Jewish people, everybody was weeping and they're crying and it's wonderful and it's good, but Yehoshua understood the most important thing, that Moshe Rabbeinu did not die. So for him, all the information, everything he had lived on, Moshe Rabbeinu was with him. So he was able to be the leader. He was able to be the hope. He was able to be a lot of things. Baruch Hashem. Thank God. And we find that about Moshe Rabbeinu, particularly, that this individual was willing to give up everything for us. He was willing to 120 days, not to mention how many years in preparation to take us out of Egypt, to prepare to fulfill his purpose, to fulfill the purpose that Hashem wanted. And the ultimate purpose that he knew Hashem really wanted was, originally when he went to Paro, our commentaries say that really that he would leave originally and come back 3 days later to the Torah, even to Egypt. Bring the Torah to Egypt. The purpose, he understood that the end purpose, the end result, the end goal was that the whole world should be Makarev and should serve Hashem. And he understood that, and his true original desire was for that. And Paro, unfortunately, didn't permit it. He didn't realize that he was not trying to discriminate. He wanted it to even have a big influence on the rest of the whole world, even the Mitzrayim who were so far away from Hashem and everything. He wanted to give them good. He wanted to do it. And Baruch Hashem, he was qualified to understand that and to do that because he came from their side. He wasn't being selfish. He understood what Hashem wanted from him, and he understood that emunah, like Rav Jor said in one of the shirim I heard, that when Rav Shalom made the book of Garden of Emunah, it was on the understanding that it's one of the 7 Noachide laws. It's not something crazy. So when the Garden of Emunah was printed, and especially Universal Garden of Emunah was printed, a person can pass that around and increase faith in the world, because that's exactly, doesn't have to just be that. You can make videos, you can do whatever you like, whatever you think is effective. But in terms of emunah, in terms of, a lot of people feel very good in their privacy of the home to read, and they can pinpoint the things on their own instead of other people speaking about, oh hey look, you gotta work on this. When people see in a book, they have the quiet mind telling them to do something about it. And when things are nice and quiet and calm, so oftentimes people have a chance to be able to, see with an open eye and the truth. So, and I just bought a couple of books, Baruch Hashem, over here. Instead of using some of the tzedakah money just to give tzedakah to other people, which is great. I mean, the Meiser. I took some of the Meiser, Baruch Hashem, that I have, and we bought some like garden of emunahs. We bought some books, Baruch Hashem, in order to hand out to people, because it says by Avraham Avinu that Moshe Rabbeinu had a life also resembling Avraham Avinu. It says about Avraham Avinu that Hashem considered his emunah like tzedakah. So emunah is so high that Hashem considers it like tzedakah. So if you can help, if you have tzedakah, if you have meiser, if you have beautiful things to give, and it's going to help increase the purpose of the world, which is Moshe Rabbeinu was to spread emunah throughout the whole world, that everybody should know Hashem, and everybody should understand the level of free choice that they really do have in the world. So then we're going to really come to the purpose of the world. We're going to know Hashem. We're going to come to believe in the things that we're supposed to believe, and not all the imaginations that the Yetzer Hara is trying to make, the movie of our lives seem like a big dream, crazy dream. So Baruch Hashem, a person who's zochah to take their money also and to buy svarim and to give to other people by fulfilling the purpose of the world, like Moshe Rabbeinu also wanted. Because sometimes it's not always easy to speak to everybody, but if you can give a sefer, people can read it in their own home and whatnot. People can go forward, move forward, and grow. And Baruch Hashem, it's in your merit, it's in the merit of Hashem, it's in the merit of Moshe. And may everybody be blessed and understand that Moshe Rabbeinu, his goal in the world was that Baruch Hashem, emunah should be spread. And how do we know that? By he yad of emunah, and his hands are emunah ad bo Hashemesh, until the sun came down. Our greatest enemy that we know is Amalek, and he fought them. You don't see people like. Where do you find that people were people were winning against the Jewish people ever? Where do you find that? You don't find that really. You don't really find that. Oh, when Moshe Rabbeinu was around, nobody's winning. But it says when his hands were down, the Amalekites, they were strong. They assailed them. They were stronger, so to speak. And when his hands were up, so the Jewish people, they remembered Hashem, they had faith, and they were strong, they were strengthened. So where do you find an enemy like this? So Baruch Hashem, with Moshe, with emunah, when we have emunah, we're zochah to be able to overcome even the biggest enemy ever. And we also find, I heard that this is the yahrzeit of Esther. It says Mordechai is the hands and Esther is the feet. Mordechai is the hands and Esther is the feet. The feet represent emunah. Emunah, vahi yadav emunah, ad bo shemesh. And Moshe's hands were emunah, were like emunah until the sun came down. This is what it says in the account of when Amalek went to attack them. His hands were emunah. The purpose of everything that he was doing, raising his hands, was for emunah. Everything is for emunah. So may everybody be zochah to spread belief in Hashem and prayer in the world. As Rabbi Nachman says, if you believe, then you speak. And if you speak, then you believe. And that's how simple it is. Hashem, may everybody be zochah to be blessed and attached to Moshe.